Welcome back, guys, to another episode of my devlog series. Today, or this past week, I've done quite a little bit of stuff, but mostly like smaller things. And so there's actually just one video sequence that we have to go through now. Alright, guys, welcome back to Wednesday today, actually, already. Jeez, time flies. I actually back home from my holiday since like Sunday afternoon or whatever, and like the past couple of days I just spent kind of just getting back, playing some games, getting my system now finally fully set up again for programming on Linux. And now yesterday and today I was actually chasing a little thing that kind of bugged me for a little while already, and that is I do log, let's catch that way. I kind of have still logging in for debug purposes to see what web requests are coming into my server. And obviously I just kind of expect that this is just stuff from me, obviously trying to test stuff. And so I can like completely see how these web requests are kind of looking like. Well, now what I realized is that sometimes I get like couple thousand requests within like an hour or so. Hasn't been an issue to performance as far as I can tell. Like that seems to be like not a problem at all, which is kind of nice performance testing there. But I did kind of wonder like where this all comes from, and based from my logging I could not see like any source IP address of that stuff. So that's why I now updated that a little bit. So now I'm also logging where web requests are actually coming from, so I can maybe finally understand where this is all coming from. But for the most part, it just looks like actually maybe my IP address that I have for the server was already like in use before that. Very likely, actually. Maybe that was like an active service, I thought. Maybe something like that is performing like some, I don't know, web API server that has been used for something, I don't know, and it is still getting hit by many people, but that is not the case as far as I can tell, at least. Just actually looks like a lot of like random garbo data in here, like lots of stuff actually, like PHPMyAdmin. So this is a list I compiled of all the paths that I recorded, all it like in general that were and for errors, so that were like where the server said, hey, I didn't find that, it's a 404, so I'm going to log that. And these are all the paths of that. So there's a lot of like PHPMyAdmin stuff in here, for example. By the way, this is like 17,341 requests that I have in here, which is kind of a little bit. As I said, lots of PHPMyAdmin stuff. Actually, pretty much mostly like PHP paths, new license. Like a lot of like random stuff, or probably just a bunch of bots like kind of trying to find something to hack or whatever. Log.php, Linux PHP apparently in here quite a lot. A lot of stuff like Joomla as well, which is I think also like a CMS system. I think there was also some stuff about how's it called? Damn, I'm stupid now. Images stuff, interestingly enough. Like some of that just seems like pretty random actually. I don't know like what they expect to see behind that. Yeah, like API.php, stuff like that. This right here is all like actual stuff that is like should actually exist. So that's probably from me, but whatever. .config.php quite a bit. WordPress, right? WordPress. We also have that here somewhere. Web PHPMyAdmin, like web devs, search me for web dev server. Who am I.php, stuff like that. Trying to kind of find out what kind of server we're running here, but there's no PHP running there, so you can try that. Whatever, XAMPP, PHPMyAdmin index. Yeah, it's a lot of just like random search stuff. WP content, it's like all like WordPress stuff. So probably just a bunch of bots, I think, like pinging the IP, seeing, hey, yeah, IP exists. Let's just try and find something out here. I'm actually really interested now to wait and see when the next kind of wave of this happens, because it's always kind of like waves as far as I can tell. It's like within a minute this is like 1,000 requests or whatever. As I said, I don't think this was like an actual performance issue at some point, but yeah, so that means that this is like kind of an attack, quote unquote, and then like another one there, and then as far as I know, this happens like every couple of days. So I'm just not going to wait and see if we get another one, and then now we have actually the IP addresses, and that will be interesting to see. Is this all the same one? What is this IP address? Where is it coming from? And yeah, as soon as I know that, we will talk a little bit more about that. And now I will just go back to implementing some other actual features as well. We still have a lot of like small fixing up to do, basically, for gearing up kind of to like the first release where it's kind of ready, you know. So that's what I'm going to work on from now on for the rest of the week. Okay, so now I can give you a little bit of an update here. There were actually now some visits on my website, basically, that I logged with the IP address, and I've taken a little look at these, and it seems to be mostly just like kind of web crawlers. So, for example, I found like the Yandex and Baidu crawlers, nothing from Google though, but whatever. So stuff like that, which is pretty normal, I would say. There wasn't like a bigger hit, so I was not getting one of the bigger ones that I already had seen previously before, but whatever. And also some interesting stuff that I found here. For example, from the Stanford University, who apparently are running a long-term computer science research project, which involves making a small number of harmless connection attempts to every publicly accessible computer worldwide each day. So stuff like that, which they use to kind of find out what protocols and stuff like that are in use on the internet. Or other stuff like Bug, whatever that is, a media monitoring system by Hyperfactors. Technically operates in a similar way as Google's crawler, blah blah. Why is it good for me? It is great for my site. Great. I'm potentially getting noticed by brands and organizations all over the world. Nice. Small and large. So I'm just basically steps away from getting stupid rich. Okay, so what did I actually now implement this week as a kind of a bigger feature? Well, I added a little bit more stuff for website stuff. So now I can put in the variables in HTML code, and then I can replace these variables with something at runtime. So I'm not going to show it to you now, because then you would see my entire website, and the new website, and I don't want to give that away just yet. Although it's technically, you could also already find that. Actually, let's just, come on, why not? txt.club, yeah, that is /landing. And then we take that away, and then we are here on a great website. It's still just very much work in progress, but down here you can see there's a YouTube link that is embedded, and it will now always point to my latest video. So that's kind of great, without any like magic trickery of saying like, hey, play this playlist from like this channel playlist and take the first video or something. No, this is always just a normal video embed pointing to my latest video, basically. Yeah, so this is the main thing that I worked on this week. I mean, it's not a hard feature to do, but it was definitely a little bit of troubleshooting and getting to work. It was kind of frustrating, to be honest, mostly because I haven't written any code in quite a little while. Let's take a look at the commit history here. So there's stuff on like September 13th, 12th, 11th, and then August 23rd. So this is a big hole in there where I was on vacation. And yeah, when you haven't written code in like 2 weeks or something like that, then you have to get back into it. But I feel like that is now done. I'm now over that process. Yeah, so basically I now have to test this code out, and once I know that this properly updates when I upload new videos, which I will know when I upload the next video, which is this one right here, then yeah, everything will be fine, and I can merge this together into the main branch or the master. I also did some like smaller little tweaky things, stuff like that. Because now, well, as I'm now trying to push this to a point where we can kind of like quote unquote release it. I mean, it's not really a release, but like opening the Discord server up, starting then the other stuff around that, the Minecraft server, stuff like that. So what I've also done, I have written down some to-dos here that I still want to do before I do that. For example, securing MongoDB, because it's just internal, but I still feel like would be a good idea to save that, secure that with password, stuff like that, because right now it is not really. Yeah, you can't access that. Or can you? Let me have actually put an SSH connection open here. I have to take a quick look here. 1 second. Oh man. Jeez. Dang. Yeah, that's the thing. When you wait too long, you need to re-enter your sudo password. Jeez. Come on. Okay. Now I have it. Come on. Okay, great. So here I can now see, and you can't, but that is MongoDB on the localhost foreign address. Oh, this might still be open. I have to check that a little bit better, and then I have to block these ports up properly, because I think I don't have that done right now, which would be bad, because then the database would be publicly open to the internet, which would be a good idea. Whatever. Yeah, that users add their Minecraft in-game name to their profile. So I also have that in the account thing. Yeah, so I can then build some connections, hopefully, between Minecraft and the bot and everything around that, because in the future I want to be able to sort of just say, hey, yeah, let's just whitelist that person, or that, even cooler actually, that like someone on Discord can say, hey, I want to see my Minecraft stats, and then it can actually pull up the Minecraft stats of that person without them having to type in the in-game name every time. Yeah, there's some bug that I still have to fix with logging in the add and delete command when it fails, because that does not log to the database currently because of some error with cyclic dependency, which I still have to figure out. Still have to do some fixing up for the performance log thing, because right now it's always showing all data completely. So either I want to delete the data after 7 days, or I'm going to just display the data for the past 7 days when I query it. Yeah, sometimes when you remove a reaction for like the up and downward thing, then it doesn't emit that event correctly, and then the karma change doesn't get undone properly. Sometimes I still also have to fix that a little bit and figure that out. Fix relative path wonkiness. Yeah, that's actually what you've already seen. So if I'm on the txt.club/landing, then everything looks fine. But if I add another slash to it, then it does not, in fact, look fine. But I'm not sure if this is actually a bug, because, I mean, just enter the correct path, right? And set up Let's Encrypt. Well, that's maybe not the... Yeah, well, probably. Because, well, this is... via HTTPS, this is kind of freaking out, because I don't have any, like, valid certificates for HTTPS right now. So I still have to do that. Yeah, these are 7 to-dos that I still want to do. Maybe there will be more popping up. but that's kind of the stuff that I want to tackle over the course of the next week. And yeah, I guess you can actually go on my GitHub here, github.com/t-x-t, find my repository, and you can actually then look in this and see what I'm doing in real time, basically. Oh yeah. And yeah, obviously fixing these 3 issues which are already in the project itself as well. So yeah, okay. But I think that's actually quite conclusive for this video today. See you all next week again, next Friday hopefully, with another devlog when I have hopefully a lot more stuff finished and we can talk release date hopefully. So until then, have a great time. See you all then. Bye bye.